So, time is 1 a.m. Quarter past one. We've just got back to the hotel.
We've literally just got back.
And we haven't eaten anything since lunch today, which was about 2 for us. Yeah.
We got the park and ride bus.
We did. It was very good. The park and ride was great. It was easy to find. It was great. But the weather was glorious. So hot. So hot. We popped into Cardiff City Centre, went to Carluccio's, didn't we?
Yeah, for lunch.
Had a lovely lunch. It was really good. We had, I don't know, some kind of pasta thing.
Chicken
with,
pasta with capers and anchovies.
Oh, which for me is...
And some dippy bread.
Yeah, proper dippy bread. And then we had panna cotta with raspberry coulis for after, which was lovely. Then we thought, right, make a beeline over for the stadium, didn't we?
Just to have a look, really. We weren't sort of planning on queuing up yet. This was about 2:30. Doors open at 5, so there's still 2.5 hours to go.
When we got there, then the merchandise stand. So I spent quite a while just, checking out the merch. Got myself a little wristband, which is kind of cool. A tradition now. But then we were like definitely buying ourselves a t-shirt because I had bought a t-shirt when I went to Wembley, and again, it's like a collection now. The merchandise stand was right next to our gate, so we went, wow, go check the gate out, had a look, and considering that we were expecting queues to be forming from stupid o'clock.
Yeah, I had pictures of people with chairs, sleeping bags, queuing up.
We got there.
Hours and hours and hours.
And there was no one there. Absolutely no one there.
Literally two people deep?
Yeah. It was insane. So we went, well, we've not got anything else to do now. We'd just be pottering around. Should we just join the queue? So we were like, yeah, all right, we'll join the queue. Joined the queue, didn't we? So we were queuing up for a good 2 hours, weren't we? We were in the shade. We were going, oh, this is lovely. The sun started to move. We were then in the full sun. It was baking hot. It was not fun, but we were like, well, we're here now. We're pretty much at the front of the queue, so we went in. Fine. So then the doors finally opened about 2 hours later, didn't it? So opened the gates, they did, and we all started to file in. Now we had standing seats. We've never done standing before. Every time I've been to a gig, I've always had reserved seats, like sit-in seats. So this is the first time that I would experience this. So we were like, right, let's go and find some decent seats and some chairs.
So with standing, you either go the main floor standing or the first tier of seats around are free to open, yeah.
However, because we'd made it, because we were literally at the front of the queue, when we got there, we were at the front. Literally, there were 5 to 6 people deep. We could see everything, and we were right in the centre. And I went and we were like, oh, this is a really good location. Do we just wait here? So we stood humming and hawing because we'd got these really great. We'd got this really great location.
It was a great location, but within 2 to 5 minutes,
we were swamped.
We were surrounded,
and it was baking hot.
And it was hot.
And we were looking, weren't we? And we must have been stood there for a good half an hour, checking the seats to see if there were any seats available that we could go to that we'd still get a decent view.
So we kept looking and saying, do we find a seat? You didn't know if you needed the toilet.
No, and it was so hot. I was starting to feel a bit. Well, you weren't feeling great because it was all closed in.
I just felt very really claustrophobic.
It was hot. We didn't have any water with us. I was starting to get a headache, and we were kind of going. We were just being old, really, weren't we? We were just going, what should we do? But then the guys down the front started handing out water, didn't they? Yeah, literally like glasses of tap water were just being ferried through. So we went
pass back.
So we were waving. To try and get his attention. By the time we got some tap water, we were right, weren't we? We were fine. Yeah. So we were,
chill out a bit.
Yeah, and we sort of got used to where we were. Everything was starting to feel a little bit okay. Been there for an hour? We must have been stood there for about an hour. Shall I get the toilet? And, oh well, if we move now, we'd never get back here. It's like, oh, I know. But then one of the girls that was stood next to us, she was like, oh, well, I'm going to go and get some drinks and I need the toilet. And she started to move, thing. And I said, are you going out? And she said, yeah. And I said, do you reckon we'll get back in? And she was like, I don't know, we'll find out. And I said, well, I'm going to go with you. So her and I started wading our way, and I mean literally wading our way, trying not to step on people that were sat on the floor and trying to like mosey around people. And then these two Asian girls that were stood in front of us, they started following us as well. So there was now 4 of us. So we then finally made it out after people were just being like not really very happy at the fact that we were trying to like muscle through because everybody was just sort of squished in. We got to the top and I had to do the whole thing of like, God, what's your name and what's your name and what's so me and this other girl had sort of done introductions and we started having a little bit of a chat. And the 2 Asian girls were like, you were stood near us, and we said yes. And she said, brilliant, can we follow you back? And we said, yeah, no worries. So there's 4 of us all together. So then we, queue up for the toilets and then queue up for the drinks. We were gone half an hour. And then during this time...
so you left with no phone.
Yeah, I'd left him with my bag.
I had the bag, so there was absolutely no way of getting in contact. The only contact we had is I was standing with the girl that you went with's friend.
Yeah.
And so she was going to text the person I'm with saying we're on our way. I think the girl was getting quite panicked because it was getting to sort of near the time when the first support, which was
Anne-Marie.
Jamie.
Yeah, you're right.
And so she said, I've texted but I haven't heard anything. So I was okay. I had no contact with you whatsoever. No. Anyway, the Asian girls who'd left had left their friend, this one with the high vis trousers or jumper or whatever.
Yeah.
And they turn around and say, I didn't hear this to start with, but was saying, does anyone know a Claire? And so people started to sort of turn, Claire? Does anyone know Claire? So I then wake up and think, hang on a minute. And then someone turns around, looks directly at me and say, do you know a Claire? I said, well, yeah, I know a Claire.
That's my partner.
Yeah, they've just said that the queue for the toilets is quite long, but they're on their way. And this was from this random Asian girl. So I thought that you'd said, oh yeah, tell my partner, which they hadn't.
I didn't even know that had happened.
So everyone in my vicinity just went, oh my God, you got a message back from him. How amazing is that? From a stranger.
We'd then come out with all our drinks and everything, and we were confronted with the biggest crowd of people I've ever seen in life. They were all squished up all together, and the crowd had just grown massively in the half an hour that we were gone. And we went, we're never going to get through here. And then all the way around the crowd were these stewards, and we thought, well, they're not even going to let us through, are they? We're completely screwed. And so I went through the stewards, that was fine. And we were going, where even are they? We knew roughly where we were in relation to the stage, but there's a lot of people there. We didn't quite know where we were. And there was this couple that were like over from us that had these balloons, and I was like, right, well, we've definitely passed the balloons. So I start wading my way through all these people, like, excuse me, and all of this with all these drinks and everything like that. It's a bloody nightmare. And finally got sort of through to sort of a reasonable place, and we see a program being held in the air, and the girl that I was with, I think her name was Jen, she's like, look for the program. I was going, right, I can see the program, but we were kind of like, we were behind, so we had to push forward, which made us very unpopular. But then I could see that you were the one holding the program. By the time I got closer, I could see it was you.
Yeah, so then if you cut to my side, she got a message saying they're on the way. My friend knows to look for the program, so she starts holding the program up and then goes to me, well, you're a bit taller, aren't you? I said, yeah, okay, I'm taller. And start waving someone else's program around.
And this program literally became, didn't it, like the thing that was held up whenever anybody in the nearest vicinity to us went to the toilet. This poor woman's program was just being passed around as like a whatever. So anyway, by this point, I'd made quite good friends with this girl, and then we were still pushing through. I could see you holding the program.
I didn't see anyone.
But because I was behind, I was like, I don't want to push my way forward because people are going to think that I'm pushing in. So I had my drinks. So I started shouting to make it look like I was like, oh, there's my friend. I was going, Gordon, Gordon! And of course you couldn't hear me. And then eventually I just pushed my way through. We all got together, we all reunited. And by this point, you'd made friends with more people. So there was a girl and her partner that were in front who had obviously heard the story of, like, he received a message from me through a complete stranger. Support act came on. Full Support Act he was good. Jamie Lawson was very good. You know, that was good.
If you dig a little deeper, way down into your soul. I wasn't expecting that.
Enjoyed that. He was only on for sort of half an hour or so. Then you needed the toilet, so you then disappeared.
Yeah, I was debating whether to go or not. I thought I could probably manage. But there was another support after Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
And then Sheeran was starting about 8:45.
Yeah.
And this was at 7?
This was at 7, and Anne-Marie's due on at 7:30.
So I'm on an hour, and then I think, well, if I'm going to go, I
need to go now.
Probably should go now. The friend...
Of the girl that I went to the bathroom with.
The girl that you went with, her friend that I'd waited with, then said, "Oh, are you going? I'll join you then." So then, so we went off. So, to be honest with you, getting out was a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's getting back in.
So we were just, again, excuse me, I'm really sorry, excuse me, really sorry. We agree that we'd meet on the top of the stairs. I was literally 5 minutes because the gents was fine, obviously. She was only about 5 to 7 minutes because she nipped into a disabled. And so then we waded through, and I didn't see any programme or anything. I looked for.
I was waving my torch.
I looked for the balloons. People were giving us evils. And I was just like, look, I'm going to my partner. Yeah, this one girl said, oh, you're not going to have much luck. I said, well, I need to get through. And then her friend turned around and said, yeah, I recognise him. He's just come out of there. Let's go through. And that's pretty much it for the toilet stories, I think.
But you see, while you were away, the girl that I went to the bathroom with, who I'd now become pretty good friends with, to be fair, or at least I think so anyway. She was kind of like, oh, I've only got 21% battery, and like the second support ad didn't even come on, and I was like, seriously? And she was like, yeah, and I said, well, hang on a minute, and we'd bought one of the little your juice cube thing, which is essentially a long bar that you can charge your phone up of. So I pulled this charger, like my charger lead out of my bag, and she went, oh my God, is that a charger? And I went, yeah. And she went, oh my God, this is amazing. So she was plugged into me for like literally the wait time for the support act, and then the wait time between the last support act and Ed Sheeran. We were literally just plugged into each other. It was just nice. The people were just so lovely. And like, considering we'd never done stand-in before, and, you know, to be honest, it's a bit shit really sitting there from 5 o'clock right the way through till about 8:30 or 8:45, just waiting for the act that's only on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So we were on our feet for over 7 hours. That's a long time. But Anne-Marie, the support act, was great. I really enjoyed her. Yeah. She was really good. She did a really good job.
Yeah, she was very good. And we were surprised how many songs we had.
Yeah, because we were like, I've never heard these people before. The show was great, wasn't it? The show was really good, and like, I've never stood that close to anything. I don't think, you know, that, and especially not like a big show like that. And that was, we were like, I'm so glad that we didn't chicken out of this and that we actually did it. But I will never do that again, ever. But it was such a great experience because we'd made so many different like friends sort of in the vicinity. We had a great time.
And then you get so when the star sort of goes to the different areas of the crowd and says, you know, shout. When you're at the back, if you know, for Coldplay, you're shouting and you can hear a bit. but you literally hear the full force of what it is like to be on that pitch.
It's
isn't it?
incredible.
And it was just so noisy.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But and the lights and the everything and the vibrations through the floor. It was great. Yeah, so there you go. That was our evening. But it was good. It was really good. Cool. Right, in which case, I'm sorry, do you want to go to bed?
Tired.
In that case, we'll see you tomorrow.